The Cleveland Browns 2-3. The Seattle Seahawks 3-2. The Browns under Sam Rutigliano. The Seahawks coached by Jack Patera. And it will be Cleveland to kick off. Cleveland will be trying to contain Jim Zorn, Gene Washington. And on the other hand, the Seattle club will try to harass Brian Sipe and the talented offensive people of the Browns.
That's a big assignment, trying to contain Jim Zorn. No one has really done it successfully yet, except Los Angeles, and that was because they had a great pass rush. But it's going to be imperative that Cleveland does not allow Zorn to have the 6 or 7 seconds that he often gets, because no one can cover those receivers for that long.
The Cleveland Browns have never beaten the Seattle Seahawks. Exciting clubs, and we're underway. It's a high short kick. Coming up and taking it is Webster. He's at the 25, gets to the 30-yard line, and is bumped right there by number 53, Bill Cowher. We welcome you who are just joining us from the Miami-New England game. A big win today for the Patriots. Marv Albert and Dave Rowe handled that one. This is Jay Randolph with Gene Washington and the Seahawks with the football. Opening moment of play. They operate from their own 30-yard line. Jim Zorn at quarterback. Zorn going to throw on first down. Over the middle, out of the backfield to Jim Jodat. Jodat has cost 6 passes coming into today's game. Hit at the 40 by R.L. Jackson, 56, and Charlie Hall. There's Zorn with Dornick and Jodat in his backfield. The talented receivers, McCullum and Largent. The tight end is John Sawyer. Seavey, Yarno, Newton, and August up front. It's going to be 2nd down and 1. In motion, Largent. And to give to the first man through, Dornick. He's got the first down, 45-yard line. Henry Bradley, 91, the nose man, and Lyle Alzado, 77 for the Browns, making the play. The front three, Harris, Bradley, and Alzado. In the secondary, Bolton, Burrell, Scott, and Darden. It's a first down for the Seahawks, their own 45-yard line. Zorn with play action, throwing up the middle and overthrowing the intended receiver, the tight end, John Sawyer. And Gene Washington, I'm wondering if he didn't audible there.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious, Jay, that he did audible. He saw, I think what he saw was that Cleveland was going to their double zone, where the halfbacks on the outside will come up short, and that leaves the 2 safety men covering the deep corners, trying to hit his tight end down the middle to split the seam.
Mark Bell, number 82, comes in at the tight end spot now, replacing Sawyer. Brian Peets is not playing for the Seahawks, a broken leg in the last preseason game. Bill Cowher now at left inside linebacker for the Cleveland Browns. Dornick gets the handoff, slashes across the 45 to about the 48-yard line, a pickup of 3. Lyle Alzado is there to make the tackle. There's Jack Patera, 47 years old, a big man from Bismarck, North Carolina, who coaches the Seahawks. Done an excellent job here. We've got an extra wide receiver in the game. Rabel, 83 now for the Seahawks. Working with McCullum, 84, and Largent, 80. Oliver Davis, the extra defensive back in there on 3rd down and 7. Browns in the prevents defense. Seahawks looking to throw. And the quarterback throw. At the 40, the 35, the 30. Zorn does that so well. Clarence Scott, 22, the strong safety, made the stop. John Yarno, the center, played it excellently. The quarterback draw.
Jay, this is the thing that we talked about at the beginning of the show. You have to try to contain Zorn. What he will do is drop back, get the rush to come up, get the defenders to drop back, and then he takes those 3 steps, goes right up the middle. He beat Washington, the Redskins, with this very play, ran it in for a touchdown.
25-yard pickup, first down Seahawks at the Browns, 27-yard line. Sawyer back in at tight end. In motion, here comes Largent. And the give to the second man through Dornick. Dornick Good effort across the 20-yard line, down to the 19. R.L. Jackson, number 56, picking up on the tackle. A gain of 8 yards on the play. We're in the opening period with 11 and a half to go. No score. Mark Bell rotating with John Sawyer as Patera and his assistant coaches send the plays in from the far side of the field. The fourth meeting between these two clubs. Seattle is 3-0, and it's 2nd down and 2 for the Seahawks. There goes Largent in motion again. Jodat, fumble, and Cleveland recovers. Picking it up was Henry Bradley, number 91. Bradley, the second-year man from Alcorn. Right there to make the big play in the first turnover of the game. Just as the Seahawks looked like they were driving, here's a mistake.
Seattle had been running the ball very well, and this is something that you don't see them do very often. They don't usually fumble. Their backs are usually very reliable, hold on to the ball. You can see here on the screen a guy's hand slips in and knocks it away.
And the ball will go to the Browns at the 17, let's call it the 18-yard line. The Browns with Brian Sipe at quarterback. He'll have Pruitt, 43, and White, 25, in the backfield with him. Officials discussing something and called time momentarily. Offensively, here come the Browns with Logan and Rucker and Newsom, the receivers. The ball at the 18-yard line. The Browns getting it on the turnover. That's Rucker going in motion. Sipe on first down. Over the middle, got his man. Dave Logan over the 40 and out to the 42-yard line and a first down. John Harris, the free safety, making the tackle. Cornell Webster, number 38, also in there. Logan had caught 15 passes for 202 yards. There's the offense. Sipe at quarterback. He's been a little inconsistent of late. White and Pruitt are there with him. And the wide receivers, Logan and Rucker, along with the tight end, the Wizard of Oz, Mr. Newsom. Deacon, Shepard, De Leon, Delamolier, and Risen up front. First down for Cleveland. A handoff going to Mike Pruitt. Pruitt getting to the 43-yard line before he's upended by Tuiasosopo, number 74. Pruitt started the day with a 4-point rushing average. The defensive line for the Seahawks. This is the first time this season Cleveland has gone against the conventional 4-3. The linebackers for the Seahawks, Jackson, Beeson, and Butler. And in the secondary for them, Webster, Brown, Simpson, and Harris. Beeson is now out. Joe Norman is the extra linebacker in there. 2nd down and 8, Cleveland. That's Charles White, the number 1 draft choice. Penalty marker down. The first penalty in the game. Joe Norman, 52, the extra linebacker, making the tackle for the Seahawks. Offsides indicated against Seattle. The referee is Chuck Heberling today. The umpire Gordon Wells. The head linesman Ray Dodaz. The line judge Dale Oram. The back judge Al Jury. The side judge is Dave Perry. Charlie Musser is the field judge. Let's listen in to Chuck Heberling.
Offside, defense, number 79. 2nd down.
The call going against the talented rookie, the number 1 draft choice, Jacob Green. Oh, it'll be 2nd down and about 3. There's Green, who played at Texas A&M.
Jay, what Cleveland wants to do, what they have to do to win, is to be able to keep the ball on offense. They don't want Jim Zorn to have the ball very much. They want to keep their defense off the field and well rested. They want to play a ball control game.
Sipe is 4th in passing in the AFC. He pitches it back to White. Oh, and what a play. What a play by Michael Jackson. We talked about Jackson when we introduced the Seahawks defense. Number 55. Watch here.
This is a fantastic hit. You can almost feel that up here. Jackson is one of the most consistent players on the Seattle defense. He makes big plays constantly. He's always in the right position, has good quickness and good strength.
We welcome those of you who've been watching the Cincinnati-Pittsburgh game. A big win today for Cincinnati. Sam Nover and Bob Trumpy were there with you. This is Jay Randolph along with Gene Washington. Here is a fumble by Mike Pruitt, and it's picked up by Bill Gregory, the big right end, number 77 for the Seahawks. That was forced a bit by the free safety John Harris, who came in to make the play. And you've just watched the second turnover early in this game.
I think what happened when Harris comes up to safety blitz, he confuses the blocking. We see Harris at the top of the screen coming up, and I think what happened is that the Cleveland defenders coming out, he went to pick up someone else. The running back, I don't know what happened, Jay. It just looked like he just
looked
decided
like he
to
wanted
give it up.
to hand up to somebody, and there was nobody there. Earlier, Cleveland had recovered a fumble when Seattle was driving. No score with 8:58 to go, first quarter. This is Zorn, and he's throwing too high for Steve Largent. Ron Bolton over there on the coverage. Zorn starts the day with 74 completions out of 137 attempts. 54%. 9 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Zorn, the left-hander. There's Sam Rutigliano, the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, his third year. 48 years old, a native of Brooklyn, New York. Seahawks with the ball at the 36-yard line of Cleveland. Second down, 10. Handoff going to Jim Jodat out of Little Carthage College in Wisconsin, averaging 5.3 a carry. Bradley, number 91, who earlier recovered a fumble for the Browns, and Dick Ambrose, 52, were there to make the stop. There is Efren Herrera, the 6-year veteran from UCLA, who's having a fine year, and he is loosening up with the possibility of a field goal try coming. It is third down, 7 at the 33.
Cleveland has gone to his nickel defense. They brought in Oliver Davis, number 21.
And the Seahawks have 3 wide receivers in there, Rabel, Largent, and McCullum. McCullum in the slot right. Zorn batted down. And it was number 94, Elvis Franks, the rookie, who was in there in that 4-3 alignment that time. He comes in, and we'll take a look at what he did.
He makes a good effort here to get his hand up, knock the ball away. I think Zorn wanted to go underneath the coverage to one of his backs. This is a big play for Cleveland.
And Efren Herrera, who is 8 of 10 field goals, 7 of 8 inside the 50, will attempt the field goal from the 41-yard line with Zorn holding. It'll be a 51-yard attempt. His longest this year has been 50. They might be faking, you never know. The kick is on the way, and it is short and a bit to the right. So Herrera didn't get it there, and the Cleveland Browns will get the football back. We have 8:04 remaining to be played in the first quarter. The Browns set to operate from their own 34-yard line. Both these clubs were 9-7 last season. We welcome you who have just been watching Baltimore defeat Buffalo. You're watching Charlie White, the rookie for the Cleveland Browns, carry the football. Robert Hardy, number 75, making the tackle for the Seahawks. This is Jay Randolph along with Gene Washington, the Kingdome in Seattle. Happy to have you with us. It's a scoreless game up to now. Both clubs, Gene, have moved the ball rather well offensively. Both have lost the ball on fumbles.
Well, that's the thing that's somewhat surprising for Seattle to turn the ball over down inside scoring range to give it up on a fumble.
It is second down and 8 from their own 36. And Brian Sipe for the Browns. He's going long downfield. Reggie Rucker, incomplete. Good coverage by Cornell Webster, number 38, down there, the cornerback.
Jay, that was an outstanding pattern. Reggie Rucker had Webster turned around. He had him completely turned around. He came down and gave him a little move. Had he gotten a good throw, a little longer throw from Sipe, I think it would have been 6 points. Rucker had to slow down and wait for this ball. Excellent move on Reggie Rucker's part.
Brian Sipe starts the day 4th in the AFC, 99 of 168 for 1,210 yards, 58%, 9 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He's been sacked only 4 times. The Seahawks are in a prevent defense. They have the extra back, Vic Minor, 21 in there. 3rd and 8 from the 36-yard line. And whistles and penalty markers go down as it looked like Joe Norman, the extra linebacker in there, number 52 for the Seahawks, jumped off first.
Jay, this is the second time that Sipe has been able to draw them off sides. You wonder, is there something that he knows about the way they anticipate, or is he changing his cadence from his normal cadence?
Encroachment, defense, number 52. 3rd down.
The call against Joe Norman, the second-year man from Indiana. This telecast presented by authority of the NFL. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Seahawks and the NFL is prohibited. 3rd and 3 from the 41-yard line. Sipe straight back. Sipe's got the first down at midfield. He slides into Seahawk territory at the 48-yard line. Jackson 55 and Norman 52 on the tackle. 10-yard pickup.
We take a look from the end zone. Sipe gets excellent protection. Can't get this first choice of the receiver. Comes downfield. He knows exactly where that first down marker is. He gets past it. He gets down. Doesn't want to take an unnecessary shot.
First down for Cleveland. 6:50 to go in the first quarter. No score. Rucker set in a slot left. Sipe gives it to Mike Pruitt. And Pruitt, with an excellent effort, gets across the 45. Pickup of about 4 to 5 yards. Penalty marker is down. Jacob Green, 79 there on the tackle. Pruitt, 251 yards coming into today's game with a 4-point rushing average. And again, the call is going to go against the Seahawks. The defensive line a little overzealous this afternoon.
Well, that's the 3rd offsides in the first quarter, Jay. As I mentioned before, what's going on? Is there something that Sipe is doing? Is he changing the inflection of his voice? He's obviously doing something to get them to be offsides 3 times in the first quarter.
Encroachment, number 77 on a defense, lined up in the neutral zone.
The call against the 10-year veteran, Bill Gregory. It's a first down at the 43-yard line, let's call it. Baltimore over Buffalo, 17 to 12. And we have no more undefeated clubs in the NFL. Here we have a scoreless game in the first quarter. Sipe lets it go to Charlie White. And White scrambles just inside the 40-yard line. White starting the day with a 3-point rushing average, 136 yards. Tackle made by Keith Simpson.
That's the type of play that Charlie White likes to see. It's the kind of play that he ran when he was at USC.
Here's some final scores. That Baltimore victory over Buffalo we gave you. And it was New England 34 to nothing over Miami. Miami has not had a shutout in about 10 years. There's that Cincinnati-Pittsburgh final. 2nd down and 1 at the 39-yard line. White looks like he's got the first down. Tackle by John Harris, 44. Dave Brown, 22. Philadelphia beating the Giants today, 31 to 6. Big win for Dick Vermeil's club. Carmichael caught his pass, 118 consecutive games. There is an overtime game going. Green Bay and Tampa Bay in overtime down in Tampa. Here it's scoreless. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line of the Seahawks for Cleveland. Sipe has time, goes to the sideline, and it is almost intercepted. He was going for David Logan, the talented number 85, but he forced that ball.
Well, if I were a quarterback, I'd like to throw to Dave Logan, too, but not in this situation where he's obviously going to have double coverage. The first defender took him at the line of scrimmage, followed him upfield, and he had backup help from the safety. There was really nothing there, Jay.
Simpson and Webster did an excellent job over there. Number 35, Calvin Hill, who's caught 7 passes for 125 yards, comes in to replace White for the Cleveland Browns. The Browns 9th on offense, 14th rushing, 4th passing. Seahawks in their prevent defense. They have a blitz coming. It doesn't work as Pruitt gets the ball, and the penalty marker is down. Pruitt took it across the 35. A tackle made by Joe Norman, 52, the extra linebacker. And we'll wait till they unravel this penalty. Offside against the Seahawks, and it might have been the safety who was coming from the right side who was over the line when the ball was snapped.
Well, it may have been. I don't think so. I think they may have lined up again offside. But Seattle, that's a second safety blitz in the first quarter. That's a departure from their normal coverage.
Offside, number 75, defense.
It's called against Robert Hardy, the second-year man from Jackson State. Robert Heartburn Hardy. So the penalties are helping the Browns along. It's going to be 2nd down and 5. The clock showing 5 minutes to play. A scoreless first quarter. Dave Logan and Reggie Rucker are set wide to the right as you look at Brian Stipes' 1980 stats there. Stipes going to go upstairs. He throws and misses Mike Pruitt out in the flat. The coverage by the linebacker Norman, number 52. Pruitt had caught 21 passes for 192 yards.
Dave Logan was a disappointed guy on that play. When he did get the ball thrown to him, he was open. He had his guy beat down the sideline, waving his hand going into the end zone. Jacob Green, the big rookie from Seattle that we had talked about early, having a very good year. He's being blocked pretty well here. Going at it. Good job on him.
Yeah, they're going at it pretty good in the trenches. 3rd down and 5 at the 32-yard line. Sipe has time. He throws, and it is a penalty marker for interference. Cornell Webster, a little too anxious against Willie Adams, who was in there, number 80. Adams, who has that great speed and size, had position, and Webster hit him early.
I could see that coming. Being a receiver, you always want it to be pass interference, but I thought that was a very good call.
Pass interference, defense, number 38, first down.
What happens is Seattle decides to play man-to-man defense. Sipe knows that he has a guy one-on-one. He's throwing a little curl-in pattern. What the receiver does is that he keeps himself between the ball and the defensive back. The only way the defender can knock it down is to go over him, therefore causing the interference.
Cornell Webster on the call. First down at the 18-yard line for the Browns. In motion, Willie Adams. Or that's Willie Adams. And here comes Pruitt. Pruitt is down to the 10 and out of bounds at the 8-yard line. Michael Jackson running him out, a pickup of about 9 on the play.
Mike Pruitt is an interesting guy. He's so big and so strong, but he also has a tremendous speed. I understand that he ran a 9.5 in college, and for a running back his size, that is exceptional.
Ball now at the 9-yard line. 2nd down and about 1. Willis Adams goes wide to the right. Logan is set left. Sipe with Pruitt and White. Pruitt right up the middle. First down near the 5-yard line. Boy, he got off of there quick. Nice charge. Robert Hardy, 75 on the tackle. Manu Tuiasosopo, number 74, also there. The ball sitting right on the 5-yard line, where it'll now be 1st and goal to go.
Well, the interesting thing is that Cleveland has the ball. It looks like they're about to go in for a score, eating up a lot of time on the clock. This is exactly the type of game that they want to play today.
The give to White, trying to get outside, and he is clotheslined at the 3. The play made over there by Cornell Webster, the cornerback. Charlie White, an All-American at USC. The Browns have had a number of Heisman Trophy winners play for them, but this is the first one they've ever drafted.
White is an interesting runner because he doesn't have that burning speed. He's not a tremendous breakaway type of guy, but he has such good feet, such quickness that when he sees an opening, he's able to get in there so fast. Once he gets beyond the line of scrimmage, he becomes a very dangerous runner because of his shiftiness.
2 tight ends, Newsome and Oden now in the game for the Browns. 2nd and goal to go at the 2. Pruitt gets away, heads for the corner, and Touchdown, Cleveland Browns. Boy, what a run by Mike Pruitt.
Well, that's a good example of what I was talking about earlier. He's a guy with tremendous size, tremendous strength, but he has that speed to get outside and turn the corner. We might get a look on a replay. Watch the acceleration. What they want to do is they want those linemen to block down, and they want Pruitt to get out there and get a guy one-on-one like this. He's so strong, he should have been knocked out of bounds on the 2-yard line, but he makes it in for the score.
He rolled around Brown 22. Keith Butler had a shot at him, couldn't bring him down. Cockcroft attempting the point after. Paul McDonald holding. Cockcroft boots it up, and it is good. And with 3:58 remaining to be played, first quarter, the Browns score. It's 7-0 Cleveland over Seattle. Back with more in a moment. And Will Ellis back to receive this kick. Again, it's a high short kick. This time Lewis at the 15. He comes to the 20, up the middle, 25, and gets to the 26 or 27 yard line. Ricky Feature, number 83, and on the specialty unit to make the tackle. There's the drive for the Cleveland Browns, 66 yards. They ate up a good deal of time. Pruitt getting the score. Pruitt was very important in that drive as they called on him when they really needed the big play for the short yardage. Here's Zorn. Zorn, who played at Cal Poly Pomona. He's been the catalyst for the offense here over the years, and he's going right upstairs. Swings it out. Jeff Moore, and Moore is hit behind the line of scrimmage. Henry Bradley, 91, coming in there. Number 56, R.L. Jackson. Moore is a second-year man from Jackson State, number 12 pick in '79, and he's in the backfield now with Jim Jodat, 43, for the Seahawks.
He got a good block out there from 70, Jeff Seavey. If he had slipped on the turf, I think he would have had a good gain out of that.
A loss of 3, second down 13, 3:13 to play, first quarter. Zorn to Jodak. Got a block at the 25 and gets up to about the 28-yard line. Charlie Hall, the outside linebacker, 59, making the play. Pick up a 4. Who dat? That's Jodat. That's who. Jodat, as we said, played at Little Carthage College in Wisconsin. Came from L.A. in a trade for a future. And he had only picked up 123 yards in 3 years rushing for L.A. Came in today with 235 yards to his credit and a very fine 5.3 rushing average. He has 15 yards so far today, and it's 3rd and 9. 3 wide receivers for the Seahawks. Largent, Rabel, and McCullum in there now. And the Browns with 5
I think they're going to fake the blitz. I think they're going to come out of it.
They did. You've called it. Here's the throw. Jeff Moore. Moore is close to the first down, but I don't think he got there. Clay Matthews, 57, made the stop, the outside linebacker. Pickup of about 8. We may get our first measurement of the afternoon. Referee Chuck Heberlein going to call the crew from the side in. Let's see. Yep.
Jay, what lots of teams have tried to do to Seattle is when they get impatient, they will try to blitz. They'll try to make something happen. That's what Jim Zorn wants to see. He loves to see teams blitz because he has such agility and athletic ability. He feels he can get away and get the ball to his receivers. I think Cleveland's going to give him the look of the blitz, and they'll come out of it.
They are just short. Now Ron Essing, who sometimes is used as a tight end, the rookie number 64 from Grand Valley State of Michigan. And a good prospect has come in there. Oh, here's the play. 4th and inches, and a big play early for Seattle.
It is. This is where Cleveland likes to be. They're very good in short yardage situations. Their linemen are very strong. They're very tough. A little confusion here.
The Seahawks have got Art Kuhn, 54, in there also. Moore and Jodat in the backfield.
Cleveland is looking for a play action. They brought Tom Darden back into the game.
Jodat.
Oh,
and I don't know.
He may not have made it.
Well, it'll depend. It's very, very close. Jodat tried to hurdle over the defense. Clarence Scott, the strong safety, came up out of nowhere. He looked a little bit like a missile coming up out of the water. My guess is that the forward progress got him there for the first down, but we're going to have another measurement. It's a first down and a sideline view.
He makes a good effort to get up and over the surge, and I think this is the thing that makes the first down for him, because as you can see on your screen, the middle of that line is awfully tied up. Scott makes a good play to come up to stop it.
First down for the Seahawks. 2:05 remaining, first period. Browns leading 7-0. Zorn wants to throw. Scrambles, throws to the far side, complete at the 45. That was Sam McCullum making the catch. A pickup of 9. Good pressure by Marshall Harris, number 90 for the Browns. Tackle to Clay Matthews, the linebacker, 57.
Zorn wanted to come to the right side of the field. He was looking for Largent, but what Cleveland did was that they double covered Largent in a man-to-man situation. One guy covering deep on the right side, and then left the other receiver, McCullum, one-on-one on the far side of the field.
McCullum has already caught 6 touchdown passes this year. Bell and Sawyer continuing to rotate at the tight ends for the Seahawks. That's Jodat near the 50. And a little gang tackling for the Browns. Dick Ambrose, number 52, leading the way. Charlie Hall, 59, also there. We'll give him about 2 yards. The Cleveland Browns have never beaten the Seattle Seahawks. This is the 4th meeting. Last year, a 29-24 victory for Seattle in Cleveland. Seattle won here in 77, 20-19. Won here in 78, 47-24. 40 seconds to play in the first quarter. That's Sawyer going in motion. The handoff goes to Moore, and Moore has a first down all the way to the 35-yard line of Cleveland. Clay Matthews on the tackle, a pickup of 16 yards.
This is the type of play that we've seen 3 or 4 times already. Zorn drops back deep. He gets the ball to his running back about 5 or 6 yards deep. Now the linebackers, you didn't see any linebackers in the middle. And the reason is when Zorn drops back to do that, they have to go back to pass coverage just in case he doesn't hand off and goes back to throw the ball. A very effective running play, and they will continue to use that as the game goes along.
The gun sounds. And that's the end of the first period of play here in the Kingdome. The Cleveland Browns have the lead over the Seattle Seahawks, 7-0. Back with more in a moment.
I'm not quite sure why they called that. That's the job of the defensive back. If the guy catches the ball, it's to let the receiver know that you're there.
Personal foul. Tom Darden is arguing. Ron Bolton made the tackle. Darden was over there. We'll look at it again. A 17-yard play.
The thing that I talked about before when they had that good run. Here he goes back. It's just like the running play we saw before. Now he keeps it. That's why those linebackers are getting out of there. He has McCullum man-to-man out here against Bolton. Bolton is not in bad shape. McCullum has so long that he's able to run down deep, force him deep, and come back.
Unnecessary.
Well, something happened over there that we don't have on the replay. The call is against Ron Bolton. Zorn is 4 in a row now, and 5 out of 8, 40 yards. And the ball at the 9-yard line. First and goal to go, Seahawks. Browns leading it, 7-0. Opening moments of the second period. Largent and Rabel are the wide receivers now. That's Largent coming in motion. Zorn hands it off. Dornick to the 3-yard line. Dan Dornick, the big guy from Washington State, tackled by Clay Matthews, 57, the linebacker.
Let's take another look to see what caused the penalty. Well, Bolton puts a little extra effort in it, but once he throws him down, can't you see that he's trying to get over him, Jay? Do you think he's trying to avoid the contact? But puts a little effort in there with his knee, though.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Official right there on the play. The ball spotted at the 4-yard line. Second and goal to go. Essing, 64, is back in there at a tight end now. They hand off to Dornick. And Dornick is spilled
With a
just
penalty
shy
flag.
of the goal line. A penalty marker down. Clinton Burrell, the right corner, making the tackle, number 49. Dornick, very smart back. Holding is going to go against Seattle.
That's going to hurt. That's going to hurt. One of the things that Dan Dornick does so well is that whenever he's running the ball, he always manages to keep a forward lean. He's always heading upfield, and we had a good shot there of him being hit, spinning around, and still being able to get down to about the 1-yard line after being hit on about the 4 or 5.
For the Browns, Elvis Franks, an extra big man, the rookie from Morgan State up front, number 5 draft choice now. The ball out to the 13.
Holding on the run, number 82, offense. Second down.
The call went against the tight end from Colorado State, Mark Bell. His brother, of course, plays for Kansas City. The Chiefs are missing him. He's injured.
Chiefs aren't doing too badly now. Their defense is playing super football.
Second down from the 14. Zorn going to run to the 10 and steps out of bounds at about the 10-yard line. Oliver Davis, 21, was over there. Well, Zorn was hoping that something would open up, Gene, but it just didn't, and he got 3 to 4 yards on the play.
Well,
He's been bothered, Gene, a little bit with the knee problem, as you know.
Well, he had that knee surgery. What is his knee prevents him from coming back and doing the drop back passes as well as he had in the past. He can't throw off of that knee like he does, but he can still roll out, still has his quickness, likes to break that contain and move those receivers around. This is what he does better than any quarterback in the league.
Dornick and Jodat now in the backfield. Rabel is set to the left side. Zorn throwing, and penalty marker goes down. Interference against Rabel, and a good call it was. The call going against Oliver Davis, the extra defensive back, and he made contact.
Well, there's no question that it was. Wait a minute. To me, there was no question that it was interference against the defender. The problem is the defender can't see the ball. He knows that it's coming because he can tell by the receiver's eyes. The receiver's looking up. He knows the ball's coming.
Let's listen. They brought the ball out to the 11.
There is no foul on the play. The pass was not catchable.
Oh, no foul. They're saying he was over the end line when the bump came. Now, we couldn't see that from our view, so it's Efren Herrera on to attempt the field goal. He missed earlier from 51 yards out. The ball will be spotted at the 19, a 29-yard attempt for Herrera. The kick is on the way, and it is good. So the Seahawks settle for 3. 13:50 remaining to be played in the first half. The Browns and the Seahawks. Cleveland leads it 7-3.
Cleveland has to feel awfully good getting away with just Seattle getting 3 points in this situation. I think now they want to try to hold on to the ball a little more, try to eat up the clock some. They could go in at half leading or close to Seattle. They're going to be in good shape in the second half.
7-3, Browns lead it. Herrera, a boomer. That's Keith Wright at the goal line. At the 10, the 15, at the 20, outside at the 25, the 30, 35, up to the 37-yard line. A fine return by Keith Wright. This is why he's second in the AFC.
He catches the ball on the run, which is awfully important. He comes up into the wedge, does not get a good block out here on 38. Does a lot of this on his own. Breaks 2 tackles, now uses his speed to get down the sideline. Turns what could have been a bad play into a very good play.
Terry Reneker made the tackle, a 38-yard return. Sipe is 1 out of 4 passing, 23 yards. First down for the Browns. Sipe out to Charles White. Oh, he made a big play there at the 45. First down at midfield. White, showing his agility, made the turn and got away on the far sideline from the linebacker Butler.
This is a very good example of why Charles White was a Heisman Trophy winner. He takes this pass, comes back in his own territory 3 or 4 yards to avoid this guy. Now he turns upfield, but look where he has that ball. He's going to have to start putting that ball away.
That guy was Keith Butler, and he'll hear from his coaches. Dave Brown, number 22, on the tackle. The ball at the 48-yard line of the Seahawks. A 14-yard pickup for Charlie White. Sight calls on Mike Pruitt. About a yard before Terry Beeson, the linebacker, 58, made the play. The Cleveland Browns, 8th in offense in the AFC starting today's play. Beeson going out there, the former All-Big 8 player from Kansas. Talk things over. Joe Norman is the new linebacker, number 52. And Vic Minor is the new safety, an extra man in there, 21, as the Seahawks go into their prevent defense on 2nd down and 9. Calvin Hill, 35, replaces Charles White. So it's Mike Pruitt and Calvin Hill in the backfield. They like to throw to Hill in this spot. Sight's in a lot of trouble. Sight throws, and it is incomplete. He was going for Ozzie Newsome, but didn't come anywhere close. He came close enough not to get a grounding call, I think, Gene, but that's about it.
Well, I think what happened is that Sight didn't want to get an interception. He didn't want to do anything foolish. If we take a look here, Seattle's playing good defense. He tries to break containment, gets outside, doesn't see anything. Now he's going the other way. He sees that he has a chance, but he doesn't want to throw an interception. He did this against Denver. Gradishar ran it all the way back for a touchdown and beat them.
Oh, my goodness. Smokes. Dallas playing down in Texas Stadium, really putting it on your old club today.
Floodgates have opened.
3rd and 9. Sight setting up a little screen that is incomplete to Mike Pruitt. Joe Norman, the linebacker, 52, did a nice job for the Seahawks. Good defense for Seattle.
I tell you what, if they had completed that pass, I think Mike Pruitt would still be running with the ball. There was no one in front of him. He had 2 blockers.
Pruitt is very strong, as you mentioned earlier, and he is extremely tough on that little short pass.
If he gets the ball out in the open field with his speed, with his 9.5 speed and his strength, one man is not going to bring him down. And I think that's what they're going to try to do, try to get the ball to him out the flat and let him go one-on-one.
Johnny Evans set to punt. Will Lewis downfield. And he lets it go, and look out, it gets a Cleveland bounce. Well, normally the rule is inside the 10, let it go. The ball hit at the 7, bounded up, a 39-yard punt, and Seattle will have it deep in their own end zone. Second quarter, Cleveland leads it 7-3 over the Seattle Seahawks.
Has done such a good job for Seattle. Runs inside very well, knows how to follow his blockers, and has done a very good job of filling in for the injured Smith.
The Seahawks, 40 yards passing, 88 yards rushing so far in this game. Zorn pitching it back. That's Jeff Moore. Moore in the backfield now, along with Jodat. The tackle made by Ambrose, 52, and Alzado, 77, a gain of about 1. Cleveland with 37 yards rushing, or 37 yards passing, 29 yards rushing. And in the penalty department, Gene, this is hurt as we look at that fourth quarter score from St. Louis. The Rams playing very well. There's Minnesota leading Chicago in the fourth quarter. The penalty situation here, 44 yards against Seattle, only 9 yards against Cleveland in the early going.
And most of those have come from being offside.
It's 2nd down and 9 from the 10. McCullum going in motion. And the handoff. As Zorn did a nice job of faking, it was Jeff Moore, but a very fine tackle by the nose man, Henry Bradley, number 91. We mentioned Sherman Smith out of action. Jim Walsh is also out of the Seahawk backfield with a groin injury, but Al Hunter, number 24, is ready to play and suited up. Hunter, who went 67 yards against Cleveland. in last year's game, coming back off ankle surgery. Oh, it's 3rd and 9 for the Seahawks. 11 minutes to go in the first half. Browns lead at 7-3. Zorn throws, got his man. That's Jodat. And first down at the 22-yard line. Clinton Burrell, 49, and Oliver Davis, the extra defensive back, 21, made the tackle.
Cleveland is not going to gamble. They're not going to take any unnecessary chances. They want to be fairly conservative. They'll let him throw to the defensive backs. They don't want to have something thrown over their heads. They want to keep the clock running. They don't want to get impatient. They don't want to blitz. They're going to make Seattle earn everything it gets.
It was a pickup of 12 yards. First down at the 22. Zorn again. And it's complete to McCullum. McCullum had to go down to get that ball and made a very fine catch. 9 yards on the play.
McCullum runs a very good pattern, but I just can't understand why Burrell is so far off. He's at least 6 or 7 yards off of McCullum. He's not even in the picture yet.
McCullum has 35 yards on 3 catches. The ball at the 31-yard line of the Seahawks. McCullum started the day with 19 catches, 329 yards, a 17.3 per catch average. First man gets the call, Jodat. And he is to the 34, a pickup of 2. Alzado, 77, Ambrose, 52 on the tackle. The Seahawks and the Browns, 2 very exciting clubs, and the Browns leading it. Some of the artwork here at the Kingdome. The Seahawks, 9th on offense, 14th rushing, 4th in passing, but they've been running the football pretty well against this Cleveland club in the first half. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line. That's Jeff Moore over the 40 to the 41-yard line. Burrell, 49, and Bill Cower, 53. Cower now at the left inside linebacker spot, replacing R.L. Jackson, making the tackle, a pickup of 7.
Moore has had lots of problems. You can see on the screen there he's limping a little bit. His ankle has given him problems all along throughout the season, but he's the kind of guy that has a speed that's capable of going all the way from anywhere on the field. And that's why they want to have him in there as much as possible.
24 yards for him on 4 rushes, 2nd down and 3. Largent has come out of the game. Jesse Green, 86, is in there now for Seattle. That's Green coming in motion. Getting the call is Moore, and he didn't get much. Marshall Harris, number 90, and R.L. Jackson, who's back in there at the inside linebacker spot, 56, on the tackle.
Jackson and Charlie Hall. Charlie Hall made a very good play there.
See, to call it a loss of about a yard on the play. It's going to be 3rd down and 5. Defensively, the Browns 11th in the AFC, 12th against the rush, 9th against the pass. And here comes 3rd down and 5. 8 minutes to play, first half. Browns lead at 7-3. Zorn has got 3 wide receivers in there. He's got trouble. He's sacked. Zorn is sacked for the 9th time this season, and it was Jerry Wilkinson, number 70, and Elvis Franks, number 94.
Let's take a look at a guy who is the emotional leader of this Cleveland Brown defensive club. That's Lyle Alzado. Look at his strength. This guy has tremendous strength, makes a tackle on Zorn.
The punt from Herman Weaver, and look at that roll. Back downfield. He's right. And Wright is tackled by Rabel. Well, an excellent job by the Seahawks specialty unit. The Browns will have the ball at their own 8-yard line. Cleveland has the lead 7-3.
Yeah, that Tom Daly on the center for Cleveland. This is the first game that he's going to be facing an even front, a 4-3. This guy has great quickness, and he's going to be effective, I think, if they are able to get up in that middle, and he'll help that Cleveland running back game quite a bit today.
De Leon out of Ohio State, number 54. 2nd down, 5. Greg Pruitt. And Pruitt to about the 14-yard line. Terry Beeson upending him. Just did get back to the line of scrimmage. We'll pause briefly now for station identification. This is the NBC television network. There is Reggie Rucker. Word is that he had a problem with his back. They've readjusted it. Whether he will play any more this afternoon or not, we don't know. Willis Adams, number 80, is in there spelling Reggie Rucker right now. 3rd and 5. Seahawks in there, prevent defense with a nickel back. Dick Miner in there. Sight to throw. Coming up and throws complete. Dave Logan went high into the air. First down. Fine catch by this tremendous athlete for Colorado. Cornell Webster, number 38, on the tackle. Logan, drafted by the Cincinnati Reds, by the Kansas City Kings, and by the Browns. 15-yard pickup. I saw Dave Logan play a lot of basketball for Sox Walsett when he was coaching the Golden Buffaloes of Colorado, and he is a tremendous player. First down at the 29-yard line. Out it goes to Mike Pruitt. And Pruitt puts his head down and gets back barely to the line of scrimmage. There was some hitting over there. Keith Butler, 53, on the tackle, with Beeson, 58.
I wouldn't want to be in his shoes in that case. There are 3 guys that had their sights set in on him. But you see what he did? Put his head down. He did a heck of a job just getting the ball back to the line of scrimmage.
Calvin Hill is going to come into the backfield, number 35 right there, and Greg Pruitt will come out. They really like to throw to Hill when they can get him clear out of the backfield, and that kind of possibility coming up right now on 2nd down and 10.
Calvin's an excellent athlete and a very big target coming out of that backfield. He looks like a tight end.
It's over the middle to Mike Pruitt. Pruitt hit hard at the 35-yard line, a pickup of 7. Keith Simpson, number 42, the strong safety, on the tackle.
Pruitt is the workhorse for this Cleveland offense. They've been throwing the ball to him more this year. Takes a good shot here. Doesn't have the real soft hands that some of the receivers have or some of the running backs around the league have. But he's a guy that works at it, and he wants to get that ball so that he can run with it after he catches it.
Good concentration that time by Mike Pruitt. 3rd and 3 at the 36-yard line. 4:10 to play in the first half. This is Pruitt. Got the first down. Slashed out to the 44-yard line. Manu Tuiasosopo, the right tackle, number 74, on the tackle, a pickup of 8 yards.
Seattle brought their free safety, John Harris, up into the middle of the line again. Fortunately for Cleveland, they had a play that was not going up the middle and going outside. So Pruitt was able to use his speed, get around the corner, break a few tackles, and gain the first down.
The Seahawks defense ranking 8th in the AFC, 13th against the rush, 7th against the pass. Sight throwing, first down. He throws, and it is complete. And it was Ozzie Newsome who made the catch, and this was an excellent throw from Sight over the defense. Keith Simpson, 42, on the tackle, a pickup of 17.
It's an excellent throw, but he's throwing to a guy who may be the best tight end in football, Ozzie Newsome. Watch, he knows he's going to get hit. You see how he ducked his head down there? He knew that he was in traffic. There's no point in taking an unnecessary shot. Come back and play some more.
Good hands from Ozzie there, too, as he handled that bobbled ball and held on. 6 out of 11 for Sight. First down at the Seattle 39. Sight using play action. Got to get out of there. Throwing back against the grain, and it's Keith Wright at the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. And no flags. Oh, what a job. Brian Sight to Keith Wright, who almost went right out of the stadium underneath there. 39-yard touchdown play.
This is one of the type of plays that you will see in every highlight film. Sight drops back. He wants to hit Calvin Hill over the flat. Now he's just looking around trying to get something. Does that brand target and roll around. Gets around, breaks the containment, throws all the way across field at Keith Wright, who jumps up, now is expecting to get hit. Watch, he's expecting to get hit. gets around and gets a great block from Ozzie Newsome. You can't see it on our screen. He knocks the defender back 4 or 5 yards, which enables Wright to go in for the touchdown.
That's a tough throw against the grain, too. Cockcroft to attempt the point after. And it is blocked. Blocked. Somebody on the right side. I think it was Bill Cook, number 67, right there in the middle of your screen, who came in. Cleveland 13, Seattle 3, 2:30 left to play in the second quarter. Back with more in a moment. The point after a moment ago.
Well, he's happy about this block. They're not happy about being behind 13-3. Played with Bill Cook in San Francisco. He's a guy that gives 100% effort all the time. This missed field goal, or extra point, I should say here, may become very important as this game goes along.
Back downfield, that's 38 Cornell Webster and 41 Will Lewis. Cook's got a few stickers on his bag. He played with you, he played at Detroit, he played at Green Bay, he's been around.
Man that likes to travel.
It's Will Lewis at the 10. Trying to get outside to the far sideline and doesn't make the turn. And leading the charge over there, tight end number 84, McDonald Odin for the Browns. Return of about 6 yards. Cockcroft not getting that ball very deep on the kickoffs, but getting a good hang time on that high short kick.
Keith Wright, with that touchdown he just ran in, has caught 3 passes and all for touchdowns this year. That's not a bad batting average.
That's 1,000, isn't it? Batting 1,000. There's the drive, and we're set to go. Dornick and Moore now in the backfield for the Seahawks. 1st and 10 from their own 16. 3 wide receivers in there also. And here it goes to Dornick. Over the 25 to the 29-yard line. R.L. Jackson on the tackle. Dornick had caught 10 passes for 81 yards. The Seahawks hurrying along. They want to try to get a play away before the 2-minute warning, but they're not going to. No. 2 minutes remaining to be played in the first half here in the Kingdome in Seattle. The Browns lead Seattle 13-3. We'll be back with the final 1:20 in the seconds department of this first half. That's Zorn throwing and Largent dropping the ball. Zorn trying to hit Largent over the middle. You won't see Largent drop a pass like that very often.
No, you won't. But what happened in that situation? Cleveland is dropping back in their prevent. Largent went downfield, came right underneath the linebackers, trying to get the ball running across field so that he could get out of bounds, stop the clock, and save a timeout.
Number 53, Bill Cowher, doing a nice job. He's now out of the lineup. Wilkinson 70 and Franks 94 up there. Ambrose and Alzado. 2nd and 10 at the 29-yard line. 1:56 to play in the first half. Zorn steps up. And down he goes. There's Lyle Alzado. That's the 2nd sack against Zorn this afternoon. Loss of 5.
We mentioned earlier that Lyle is a guy who's the inspirational leader on this team. He uses his strength very well. He knows that Seattle's going to pass. He's able to get a good start. He's in the starting blocks.
3rd and 15. Zorn giving it off to Dornick. Dornick out to the 37-yard line, short of a first down. Don Good, number 50, an extra linebacker on the outside, made the play. And now a timeout is called with 1:31 remaining to be played in this first half. The Cleveland Browns lead Seattle 13-3. Of course, that's all coming up for you. World Series Tuesday night on NBC. They're punting with this beauty by Herman Weaver. That is some punt. Whew. Well, they opted for the punt on 4th and 1 there. 62-yard boomer by Herman Weaver, the 11-year man from Tennessee.
I think that's a good decision. They're down 13-3. Why take a chance here? Cleveland gets the ball. If they get nothing other than another 3 points, now that's put them that much further ahead. Now they have to score a touchdown, 2 touchdowns actually.
Ball at the 20-yard line. Cleveland has the lead 13-3. Cleveland's football. Brian Sipe at the controls. That's a new club record or long punt. Well, Sipe going to go upstairs, and he throws out to Pruitt. And Pruitt is over the 25 to the 26-yard line. Joe Norman, 52 on the tackle, 6-yard pickup. The Browns have 3 timeouts remaining. 1:03 left to play in this first half. The Browns leading it 13-3. Little draw to Pruitt. Pruitt out over the 30, 35, 40 to the 42-yard line. Mike Pruitt tackled by Keith Simpson, number 42. And now they'll call a timeout.
Cleveland is using its hurry-up offense. I was a little surprised. I was wondering, why would they want to throw the ball? But this is what they're doing. They're trying to make Seattle think they want to throw. They run the draw to Pruitt, makes a great run out of it. Now they're getting down within that field goal range.
17-yard pickup. Kansas City. And will it be Houston or will it be Philadelphia that the Kansas City Royals will go against? Tuesday night on NBC. 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line. Sipe has lots of time, throwing, and it is incomplete. Dave Brown almost came up with his 5th interception of the season over there in front of Dave Logan. The Seahawks secondary has had 9 interceptions in the last 2 weeks.
I think Dave Brown actually had the ball for a while, and I think he lost it when he hit the ground out of bounds, but Logan took it away from him. In good position. There he has it. Well, actually, they both have it.
Just did have his foot on that line, didn't he?
Brown has been the most consistent defensive back for Seattle all season long. He's always in good position. People are always trying to beat him deep, but he always responds to the challenge.
On 2nd down, Sipe again has time. He's going long for Adams, and he couldn't hold on. Adams covered by Cornell Webster. Nice matchup there as they battle for it.
Adams shows great speed on this. Sipe throws an excellent pass. He throws it where it has to be thrown, deep to the sideline. I actually think Adams should have come up with this.
Had a good chance, didn't he?
I think it hit him right in the breadbasket.
Sipe is 8 for 15, 121 yards. Willis Adams playing for Reggie Rucker. If you're just joining us, Rucker with a back problem here in the first half, and we don't know whether he will see any more action or not. Keith Wright, 89, is in there now, and it's 3rd down and 10. 36 seconds left in the first half. Sipe again has time. He throws, and it is incomplete. Greg Pruitt juggling it as he went out of bounds, couldn't hold on. The coverage by Vic Miner, number 21.
Pruitt almost makes a circus catch out of this, and if he catches this ball, Miner goes out of bounds, I think, as he knocks it away or tries to knock it away. If Pruitt catches it, he can turn up the sideline here. He might score.
If he could have been able to hold that ball when he first took it, it might have been a touchdown. Punting time. Back there is Will Lewis and Johnny Evans, a 37.3 punting average. He's been rather disappointing. This is a low, wobbly kick. Lewis picking it up at the 15, getting to the 20-yard line. Clock stopped with 19 seconds remaining. Willis Adams, number 80, downfield making the play. A 41-yard punt, a 4-yard return, and the Seahawks still have 2 timeouts remaining, 19 seconds in which to operate. Ball right on the 20-yard line. Mike Pruitt in the first half, 3 catches, 13 yards, 9 rushes for 41 yards. Now the Seahawks. Zorn gives it off to Jeff Moore, 25-30, out to the 34-yard line. Moore, the second-year man from Jackson State. Bill Cower, 53, made the tackle. Clock stopped now with 5 seconds remaining. No, they're going to let it run out. Come to the end of the half.
Cleveland Cleveland is going to allow any running play short. They want to be able to contain it. They don't want something to break, give up a cheap 3 points or 6 points here right before the end of the half.
And that is the end of the first half. The Browns 13, the Seahawks 3. Halftime coming up. And a low kick that is picked up by Cleo Miller. And Miller brings it back down over the 50. Miller, a 7-year veteran out of Arkansas Pine Bluff, holding on. Joe Dat on the tackle, number 43. Well, the Browns have it in excellent position at the Seahawk 47-yard line.
Got a negative reaction from the fans on that, and I have to agree with them. I don't quite understand why you give a squib kick and you give Cleveland the opportunity with the ball on Seattle's 47-yard line.
Seifert at quarterback, number 17, Pruitt 43, and White 25 in the backfield. The wide receivers, Logan 85 and Willis Adams 80. This is Mike Pruitt banging down to the 40-yard line, and he's running hard this afternoon. John Harris 44 on the tackle, a free safety. Up front, De Leon 54 is at center, Shepard 65 and Delamalure 64 at the guards. Cody Risen 63 and Doug Deacon playing in his 127th consecutive game, number 73 at left tackle for the Browns.
Mike Pruitt ran into the guy for Seattle, the middle linebacker, Terry Beeson, who lots of people are comparing to Dick Butkus. But Pruitt hit him and knocked him back 2 or 3 yards. And he got quite a reaction from the Cleveland players on the sideline.
Second down and 3. Charles White, penalty marker down. White inside the 40 down to the 38-yard line. Jacob Green, big number 79 on the tackle, but as we indicated, holding is going to be the call on the penalty against the Browns. There is Reggie Rucker, who has a slight lower back sprain, and he will not play any longer today, we are told. He went out rather early and has been spelled by Willis Adams, number 80, the second-year man from the University of Houston.
You hate to have a guy out of your lineup who has that ability. Reggie Rucker, listen to the call.
Holding, offense, number 65, second down.
Call against Henry Shepard, the 5-year man from SMU.
So I was saying, Reggie brings so much to the offense with his knowledge of the pass defense. He understands and reads coverages very well, and you hate to have a guy like that out of your offense.
We'll reintroduce that Seattle defense as soon as we have an opportunity. Second and 13. Calvin Hill in there now, number 35, with Mike Pruitt. That's Mike Pruitt at the 45. Down he goes. And a big play for rookie Vic Miner out of Northeast Louisiana. And he wanted to go with a football, and they're bringing it back. He comes in on 3rd and long situations usually.
Well, Vic Miner decides to challenge one of the strongest guys around. We've seen Pruitt run over guys, but Miner comes up and he meets the challenge. Look, as they say, good fundamental football position, sort of bulldogs him down.
The Seahawks playing tough defense. After giving Cleveland the ball in excellent position, here's 3rd and 9. Sight looks over the middle, and it's incomplete. Calvin Hill right in his hands and then right out of his hands. They like to go to Hill on the 3rd down play. He caught 7 passes for 125 yards. Coverage for the linebacker, Mike Jackson, and a big hand for the Seattle defense.
The defense has done a good job all day long. As we mentioned earlier, they had one broken play, the touchdown to Keith Wright. Other than that, they've done a very good job.
Will Lewis back to receive. The punt will come from Johnny Evans out of North Carolina State. Angling to the near sideline and out of bounds. And let's see where they're going to line it up. It's going to be near the 22-yard line. At about the 22, that's where the Seahawks will get it. 24-yard punt. Timeout. We're in the 3rd quarter. The Browns leading the Seahawks 13-3. First and 10 from the 23-yard line. Handoff going to Dornick. number 33. Dornick picking up 5 yards before he's hit by Charlie Hall, 59, and Henry Bradley, 91. This offense for Seattle, with Jim Zorn, number 10 at quarterback, Dornick 33 and Jodat 43 are the running backs, Largent 80 and McCullum 84 the wide receivers, Mark Bell and John Sawyer 82 and 81 rotating the tight end spots. Yarno is at center, 51, Newton 78 and Seavey 70 at the guards, and Bullard 72 and August 76 at the tackles. Second down and 6 from the 27. Dornick again, short of a first down at the 29-yard line. Henry Bradley, number 91, on the tackle. Kansas City has gone ahead of Houston, 14-10. 9:55 left in the third quarter. Steve Fuller to Henry Marshall, 31 yards, and then Gary Spaney on an interception of a Stabler pass went 47 yards. So Kansas City leads Houston. Here it's 13-3. The Browns over the Seahawks. Third down and 3 at the 30-yard line. 3 wide receivers, McCullum, Green, Largent, and also Rabel. 4 wide receivers in there now. And the throw is complete. I think he got the first down. Steve Largent had to go high in the air, but I think he had forward progress to the 34-yard line for the first down. Clay Matthews making the hit. It is a first down.
There's 4 wide receivers in the game. What they do is Zorn is now in the slot. He has a linebacker on him. They're trying to get the ball to him, what we call a quick hitch pass. If he doesn't have to go so high, if he catches that ball with his feet planted, now he has a chance to wheel and gain another 4 or 5 yards on the run.
Again, the 4 wide receivers are in there. Jackson is out for the Browns. Cower, 53, in defensively. The pass complete to Dornick. Dornick getting to the 37-yard line, and there was good pressure put on Zorn that time.
Seattle is confusing Cleveland a little bit with that offensive set with 4 wide receivers. That puts a lot of pressure on those linebackers who have to cover a receiver with that good speed man-to-man sometimes.
John Sawyer into the lineup as Rabel goes out. That change for Seattle. 2nd and 5 from the 38. That's Largent going in motion. Zorn giving it to the spinning Dan Dornick. And Dornick comes up short of the 38-yard line as R.L. Jackson, 56, is there on the tackle. 10 minutes to play in the third quarter. Browns leading 13-3. The Browns with Jackson 56 and Ambrose 52. Matthews 57, Hall 59. They've got Wilkinson 70 in there. In the secondary, Bolton and Davis, Scott, Darden, and Burrell, along with Bradley, the nose man. 5 defensive backs. Look like they're coming on 3rd and 5. Let's see if they do.
I don't think they will. They come out of it again.
Ooh. Zorn scrambling, almost stepped away, but was pulled down from behind by Jerry Wilkinson. Good pressure that time by Alzado and Matthews.
Cleveland is doing the same thing they did in the first quarter. They're faking the blitz. You can see the defenders running back deep, getting back to the deep zones. But the key here is they get great pressure from Alzado.
And great pressure from both outside men that time. Hall is back to receive the punt from Herman Weaver. Over the 30 he comes, 35, 40. And again, Cleveland will have very good field position as they will have it at their own 41-yard line. Number 54, Art Kuhn on the tackle. 8:59 to play. Third quarter, 13-3. Browns over the Seahawks. Last week, the Browns lost a toughie, 19-16, before more than 81,000 in Cleveland. The Browns led 10-6. And had driven to the Broncos 1. Gradishar went 93 yards with that interception. With 3:55 left in the first half. That was a real backbreaker. Sight throwing, and it is incomplete. The catch made by Mike Pruitt, but he was out of bounds.
Good decision by Sipe. He really didn't have anybody open. Seattle had gone into a double coverage. I think he made a wise decision just throwing the ball out of bounds.
There's Sipe's statistics. Last year, Sipe was 13 of 29 for 177 yards in the Seattle game that was won by Seattle 29-24 in Cleveland. 2nd and 10 from the 41-yard line. That's Mike Pruitt out to the 50 and down to the 49-yard line. John Harris, 44, on the tackle.
Good inside trap play. On the replay, we'll get a look. Pruitt running the inside trap, gets a good block from 25, Charles White. Cleveland is a basic team. Their offensive coach, Jim Schaffner, was a coach when I was at San Francisco. He's going to try to beat you with personnel and execution. They're not going to do anything real fancy. They just want to come straight at you and beat you with their people.
Tony Fritsch has kicked a 46-yard field goal. 3:53 left third quarter. Kansas City by 1 over Houston. You know, actually, Gene, the Browns had about 120 more yards total offense than the Broncos last week. Of course, they still award the victories on points, but that was a very, very tough loss for the Browns. They have a 13-3 lead here over the Seahawks, just short of the first down at the 49-yard line. They're getting McDonald Oden, the rookie, 84, the other tight end, into the game.
Well, the thing that beat Cleveland last week playing against Denver was a type of play that has Cleveland out front now. It was a broken play.
3rd down, less than a yard. Pruitt and White in the backfield. Hand off to Pruitt. I believe he's got the first down, but I want to tell you, those guys are earning their money in there at the moment. They're really going at it. Butler 53, Beeson 58 in there on the pile. Tough down in those pits, I'll tell you.
Pruitt runs in there as hard, if not harder than anyone, but I tell you, it looks like he ran into a stone wall on this play. He puts his head down and he gives it a good effort. I think he makes it, but he comes right out of there almost as fast as he goes in. Look at the surge. That surge is going back against Cleveland.
It is a first down. Cleo Miller, number 30, the free agent, former Kansas City Chief, is in the lineup now, working with Charles White as Mike Pruitt came out. First down at the 48-yard line. Sipe wants to throw. Steps up, throws, and it was almost intercepted by Terry Beeson. Beeson, the middle linebacker, cut in front of Ozzie Newsome. Throw didn't have much on it as Sipe tried to force it in between two defenders.
I don't think Sipe actually saw Beeson, who came from the left side. Sipe was so intent on getting the ball to Newsome that I think he blanked everything out, and he's fortunate he didn't come up with an interception there.
The Lions, on a run by Freddie Stopp, have taken the lead, a 49-yard run, 7:11 left in the third quarter. Here, we've got 8 minutes remaining in the third quarter. The Browns leading it 13-3. Sipe gets it blocked. It was number 75, Robert Hardy. Old Heartburn. A real find. A number 10 round draft pick from Jackson State.
The thing that makes this an extra special play on Hardy's part is that he's only about 6'1". He and Tuiasosopo are both short for defensive tackles, but he gets his hand up there and knocks the ball away. He's the kind of guy that gives you a big effort each and every game. And as you said, a good find for Seattle.
Sipe has missed on his last 7 attempts. 3rd and 10 coming. It's been somewhat of a problem. Sipe has been a bit inconsistent. We talked about it in the first half. Browns leading 13-3. 3rd and 10. Penalty marker down. Seahawks may have been offside, and the pass is complete to Ozzie Newsome. Sipe knew he had a chance to waste one here, and a big play to Newsome. Dave Brown on the tackle. Newsome shaken up.
As you said, Sipe knew that he had a free down. I hope it's not his knee. This guy is such an outstanding player. Maybe he just has a cramp in his leg.
Grabbing at that right knee. A 44-yard pass play as Sipe, very cool, knew that they had the opportunity to make the free go and completed it. We're going to take a timeout. The Browns in scoring position, leading 13-3. Sports World and Game 4 of the World Series. Who will it be going against the Royals, Houston or Philadelphia? Here's that last play. Watch the Wizard of Oz make the catch.
Sipe knew that he had drawn the team offsides. He knew he had a free down. Newsom, we just see the tail end of this, makes a great catch. What he had done is come down. He had the guy one-on-one, taking the defender to the post, and now breaking back out in what we call a corner pattern.
And you see him limping along the sidelines. He's been replaced by McDonald Oden, number 84. Ozzie Newsome finally got the recognition he deserved last year when he was All-Pro.
Went to the Pro Bowl.
First and goal to go, 4-yard line. Calvin Hill and Mike Pruitt in the backfield. Pitch coming to Mike Pruitt. Got down near the 3, and that was all. It was Michael Jackson, 55, and Terry Beeson, 58, who rammed in there at the 3-yard line.
Pruitt got a good block from Calvin Hill. Calvin using that size to his advantage. Calvin's about 6'3", about 230. Made an awfully good block there. They're bringing in Charles White now.
White, number 25, the rookie from USC. And Mike Pruitt, the backfield duo behind Brian Sipe. Second down, goal to go at the 3. That's White trying to get around, and he does. He had Pruitt out in front of him. That helped. Good blocking over there on the right side, and White comes up with his 4th touchdown of the 1980 season.
He's a very happy guy. He's been running these sweeps to the outside like that for 4 years at USC. Won a Heisman Trophy doing it. But the guy, Joe DeLamielleure, number 64, clears the path. Look at that. What an outstanding player. Cleveland got a steal, I think, in that deal.
Yeah, they got him for 2 draft choices. I'm sure they're fairly high draft choices, but gracious, DeLamielleure has helped a tremendous amount. The point after, Cockcroft, who had one blocked earlier, gets this one through. And with 6:45 remaining in the 3rd quarter, the Browns now lead it 20-3 over the Seattle Seahawks. And the fans here don't like it. With Gene Washington, Jay Randolph. You're looking over there at Ozzie Newsome. And the word is that he was kicked in the knee. You see him smiling. He must be feeling all right. Whether he will play anymore today or not, we don't know, but 20-3, the Browns over the Seahawks. Our computer a little fouled up there. Here comes the kick to Will Lewis, up over the 10, to the 15, to the 20, the 25, out to the 29-yard line. And it was Ricky Feature again doing a nice job on the tackle. Vic Miner for the Seahawks doing some good blocking. And Seattle's got to get it in gear after that 23-yard return. They have it 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line with 6.5 to go, 3rd quarter.
No one would have ever guessed that Cleveland would be ahead 20-3. I certainly didn't think the game would go this way at all. I thought it might be a good game, a close game. The fireworks are going to start pretty soon, Jake.
Zorn trying to rally his club. The Browns have controlled this game. Handoff going to Jodat, and he may have gotten a yard. I don't know. R.L. Jackson along with Matthews, number 57, there on the tackle. There is Jack Patera. Played his high school football at Washington High in Portland. Played for Len Casanova at Oregon.
He's got Howard Budd over there trying to explain what happened. Howard saying, I'm not sure. I'm not out there, coach.
That's Dave Craig, the rookie quarterback from Little Milton College in Wisconsin, number 17 there. 2nd down and about 9. Zorn sets up a screen to Moore. Moore spinning out to the 36-yard line. Tackle to Bill Cowher, number 53. Yarno, the center, 51, doing some good blocking in the middle. Going to bring up 3rd down and 4.
The thing that has become evident is you can see it from up here how Cleveland is now swarming to the ball. They're running all over the place. They're hustling. They're being very aggressive. They have this nice cushion, this lead, and they're going to play inspired football.
4 wide receivers in the game for Seattle. Jesse Green is in there along with Rabel. They've got a slot man on both sides. Zorn rolling and throwing, and it is a fine catch by Steve Largent. Largent really made a tremendous catch. Clarence Scott on the coverage, and Scott has got to wonder how in the world he ever caught that ball.
Well, not only is Scott wondering, I'm wondering. This looks like the play and the playoffs in the World Series the other day. I'm curious to see if it bounced first. No, it didn't. He got his hands underneath. Outstanding catch.
A tremendous effort by Steve Largent and a first down at the 41-yard line. Zorn to throw. Completing it to John Sawyer. Sawyer getting to the 48-yard line. Sawyer and Bell, the tight ends for the Seahawks after the injury to Brian Peets. Coverage over there by Ron Bolton. 4 minutes and 35 seconds to play, third quarter. Browns in command, 20-3. Zorn trying to rally the Seahawks.
That was a beautiful job of play-action pass faking. Zorn does that so well. Came back there so calm. Beautiful pass out to the sideline. Looks terrific.
Steve Rabel out to the left side as we're looking at Zorn. Largent in the slot. Zorn throwing and complete. First down, John Sawyer. Sawyer fighting his way to the 41-yard line. Dick Ambrose, number 52. Marshall Harris, number 90. On the tackle. Sawyer, when he got that ball, he went with it.
Play action again. Zorn faking to the halfback, coming back. Throws a little short pass out here in the flat. Sawyer makes a good play here. This is the kind of thing that can get that offense inspired. They need to get on the board, get some momentum going. We all know that Seattle can put points on the board very quickly once they get started.
The fans here are beginning to feel it. The intensity. Zorn using play action, throwing again. Completes it. Sam McCullum, a first down at the 29-yard line. Ron Bolton made the tackle. Another first down for the Seahawks, who are on the march.
This is the type of Seattle offense that we've become accustomed to.
Into the game now, Mark Bell with a play. Sawyer and Bell rotating with the plays from Jack Patera and his staff.
When Bell comes into the game, he's usually used as a blocker. We may see a draw play here or something of that sort.
Largent comes in motion, and the handoff going to Jim Jodat. And you were exactly right. They were running the football that time, Gene Washington. It was Marshall Harris, number 90, who stalled the ball carrier down at the 27-yard line. Clock turning with 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter. The Browns are leading it 20-3.
When Seattle wants to throw the ball, they want John Sawyer in there. He's their best pass-catching tight end.
And you saw Sawyer come back in with the play. He's on the right side, along with Largent split wide right, and McCullum to the left. The throw is complete. Down to the 19-yard line. Jeff Moore right off the shoe tops again. Another excellent catch. Dick Ambrose there on the coverage, number 52, but not much he could do.
Nothing he could do at all. If that ball is thrown low, if the quarterback throws the ball to the receiver and it's low, generally the only guy that has a shot at it is the receiver. Moore makes a very good catch. Ball actually hits his hands and bounces up into his stomach, but he does a good job of holding on.
They did not get the first down. I thought the forward progress was near the 18. They are just short of the first down, about 10 inches. 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. And it's going to be third down, less than a yard coming. Dornick, 33, is back in the backfield with Jodat. This crowd, a better than 62,000, a sellout, trying to root their Seahawks back into contention in this game. A handoff to Dornick. Looks like he's got the first down. Dick Ambrose, 52 on the tackle. Clock stopped now with 2:12 remaining in the third quarter. Dornick is a very smart young man. Wants to go to med school, went to school at Washington State, played at Wapato High School.
He didn't make the first downs.
No, I don't believe he did. I see where they stopped it. Looked like he got closer to the 18, but they put it back at the 19, and they've come up short, I believe, again. Yep. Looked like about a gain of an inch or two at the most. So now, this is the biggest play in the ball game for that man and his team.
I was just about to say that. This is a critical situation. Seattle not only needs to make this first down, but they need a touchdown. They don't want a field goal here. They need to get 7 points so they can get back into this ball game. Cleveland has done a good job all game long running out the clock, keeping possession of the football. This is the game plan that they came in with, and to this point it's worked very well for them.
Art Kuhn is up front now for the Seahawks. Jodat and Dornick are there, and I don't think he got it. Jim Jodat got the call. He may have made it on the second effort, but the first time around he didn't get it. We're going to wait and see where they put it down. Clarence Scott, the strong safety, came up over the top, and what a job by this Cleveland defense.
I don't think he made it.
No, sir, he didn't get there. They had 3 tries at about 8 inches and didn't get it.
The Cleveland defense rises to the occasion. Clarence Scott, who's having, I think, his best year, gets underneath number 56, makes the tackle. Is actually the guy that makes the stop.
If Jodat steps to the inside, he gets it. He went outside of that blocker in front of him, and it caused the problem. And Cleveland gets the football. Timeout. 1:59 remaining to be played in the third quarter. What a job by the Browns defense. 20-3, the Browns over Seattle. That's Jodat here, try to make the needed yardage, just about 6 inches.
I think, as you mentioned before, Jay, had he gone inside and followed his blocker, he had the room.
He goes over 33
a little gap
there.
There's a little gap behind Dornick.
Well, they didn't get it, and the Browns have the football in the lead, 20-3. And a great job by that Browns defensive unit. Hindsight, 9-21. Pruitt cracking out near the 25-yard line. Tackle made by Tuiasosopo, number 74. Tuiasosopo, he'll make that big play for you up front.
Well, he's a lot like Robert Hardy. They're both short, compact types of players, but they're very strong. They have good agility. They can avoid those blockers and use their athletic ability to make the big plays.
Second down and 5 from the 25 for the Browns. 1:26 left in the third quarter. Adams going in motion. The give goes to Mike Pruitt. And Pruitt looks like he has a first down at the 32-yard line. Robert Hardy, number 75, on the tackle.
Cleveland is running their basic offense. They're getting man-to-man blocking straight ahead. They're going to rely now on Joe DeLamielleure and Henry Shepard to take their guys and move that line of scrimmage back 2 or 3 yards. They accomplish 2 things. One, they can keep possession of the ball, and the other thing is that they're not going to let Seattle or Jim Zorn get his hands on the ball before they have to let him have it.
Pruitt has 76 yards on 15 rushes. It's Pruitt again. Pruitt getting to the 36-yard line. Keith Simpson, number 42, undercut him at that point.
Another good block by Charles White.
Clock running with 20 seconds remaining in this third quarter.
Pruitt had somewhat complained earlier about not carrying the ball as much as he'd like to. I don't think he'll have any complaints after today's game.
I don't think so either.
He is being a workhorse today.
It was 13-3 at halftime. Charles White has scored here in the third quarter, and that is the end of the third quarter. 20-3, the Browns. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network. Second down, Sight throws complete. That's Charles White out of the backfield, hit by Terry Beeson, number 58. We are in the fourth period here with the Browns leading 20-3, a 13-yard pickup.
Well, Sipe is obviously not willing to sit on his lead, dropping back, throwing the ball. But one thing they know, that if they can get that ball to Charles White on the other side of the line of scrimmage, he's a very dangerous receiver and broken field runner.
Ryan Sipe. Earlier, a 39-yard pass to Wright. That was certainly one of the big plays of the game. Mike Pruitt. And they were looking for him that time. Beeson and Pruitt meeting head on. And tempers player just a little bit, and I can't blame him. Boy, that's got to hurt a little bit.
I think it runs into the guy in the middle, Terry Beeson. Beeson is an excellent linebacker against the run. Big, solid type player. As I mentioned before, lots of people are comparing him to Dick Butkus.
Jackson also there. Robert Hardy, 75. Beeson going out. Greg Pruitt's now in the backfield with Mike Pruitt. Joe Norman is the other linebacker in for the Seahawks. Vic Minor, the extra defensive back in, and the pass comes out to McDonald Odin. Odin is a rookie free agent from Tennessee State. And now things are getting very heated here. Show you this play again.
Sipe is just using a little possession pass. He's got his tight end out the flat. Wants to keep possession of the ball. Takes a good hit. McDonald Odin takes a good hit. He's a little upset. He wants to let this guy know that just because I'm a young player, don't pick on me. I can dish it out too.
Speaking of hits, we'll remind you that the World Series begins on Tuesday night. There'll be lots of hits, runs and errors for you. The Browns 20, the Seahawks 3. Third down and 2 at the 43-yard line. And the flags fly. The illegal procedure against the Browns. Our producer today, the veteran Roy Hammerman. Grew up in the East and came west. Working with us, providing the pictures, Barry Stoddard and his crew. Mr. Stoddard directing this game from the Kingdom.
Number 79, offense, third down.
Call goes against Jerry Sullivan, the 7-year man from Illinois. Good backup man. He's a versatile player. Can play guard or tackle or center up there. It's going to be third down and 7. 13 and a half minutes to play. Seahawks need the football. The Browns have done a superb job of controlling this football game. Sight throwing, and he's got a man. It's Ricky Feature. Feature at the 22-yard line. Cornell Webster, the left corner, was beaten on the play. Feature did an outstanding job, a 26-yard pickup.
Cleveland went with their 3 wide receivers. They had double coverage on Logan in the slot. That leaves Ricky Feature out here one-on-one. I talked to Calvin Hill before the game. He said Ricky Feature could start for most any club where they don't have the really outstanding receivers like they do here at Cleveland. Very smooth, fluid type receiver.
Feature, a free agent, was originally a New England draft choice from Little Mississippi Valley State. At the 23-yard line of the Seahawks, the Browns have it. Bill Cook, 67, in replacing Hardy now at left tackle, who was injured on that last play. Hand off to Mike Pruitt. Pruitt breaking through at the 10-5. Touchdown, Cleveland. What acceleration, Gene Washington.
We talked all day long about the type of speed that Pruitt has. We got a good example of that. As soon as he hurdled the line of scrimmage, got down there, there's no one there. One explanation for that. The free safety, John Harris, had run up to the line of scrimmage. I think what he was doing was faking a safety blitz, but he stood in there too long, got past the line of scrimmage. There's no one there to tackle Pruitt. He goes in for the 6 points.
And he goes over 100 yards rushing. 19 carries, 102 yards. Cockcroft kicks the point, and it is good. 13:20 remaining to be played here in the Kingdome. And the Browns in a commanding position, 27-3 over the Seattle Seahawks. There's the big guy from Yankton, South Dakota College, Lyle Alzado. But like his coach, born in Brooklyn, New York.
As Howard Cosell would say, Jay, you're a plethora of information.
Oh, is that what he would say? Coming up at the 15-yard line, that's Jesse Green getting to the 22-yard line, and John Mooring, number 55, the linebacker on the specialty team, made the stop. There's the Browns scoring drive. They lead it now 27-3. Pruitt over the 100-yard mark for the first time this season. He had 5 100-yard games last year. One of the Browns is shaken up. At the 25-yard line, he's being attended to. I think it's Bill Cowher, number 53. It is. Cowher, a first-year man, a free agent from North Carolina State. Played with the Philadelphia Eagles in '78. Cowher being helped off. We have 13 minutes, 11 seconds remaining to be played. Leo Murphy, the Browns trainer, a man who is extremely and rightfully well respected among his peers, one of the outstanding trainers in the NFL. Zorn has completed the last 9 passes that he's thrown. He's 12 of his last 13, but his club is down 27-3. Zorn throws, screen out to the right side to Jeff Moore. Moore over the 35, out to the 38-yard line. Matthews, 57, the outside linebacker, and Clinton Burrell, the right corner, 49, on the tackle. This is a nice little play, 16-yard pickup.
Moore shows us an example of that outstanding speed that he possesses, and this is the thing that they've been looking for from him all year long. Zorn drops back. You got to put the ball in the air, got to get it downfield, throws a little quick screen out here, and lets Moore do a lot of the work on his own. Good job of running, especially in light of the fact that this guy has had problems with his ankles.
And back live. Zorn rolling, throwing against the middle, complete. A fine catch by McCullum at the 48-yard line of Cleveland. Scott, 22, the strong safety, there on the tackle, a pickup of 14. Zorn rolling more and throwing.
Rolling out wide to the sideline to give his receivers time to force that defense back, then come back to him for the football.
Zorn straight back, steps up, throws again. Again, it's Jeff Moore at the 40, 35, inside the 30, down to the 28-yard line. The free safety, Tom Darden, made the tackle, but nice maneuvering by the second-year man, Jeff Moore.
Good job. I think he's hurt his shoulder. He's down holding his shoulder.
A 20-yard gain. Moore, the injured player. Bruce Scott, the trainer for Seattle, coming out to attend to him. We're going to take a timeout. 11 minutes and 57 seconds remaining to be played here. The Browns lead the Seahawks 27-3. Jeff Moore has gone off the field. They've got Jodat back in there. Here comes the pass to Jodat at the 30, the 25. Penalty marker goes down. Might have a face mask down there. Clay Matthews, 57, the outside linebacker on the tackle. Zorn now has thrown 13 in 12 in a row, and the Seahawks record was 11. So is that a new record? We're going to check on that record. We're getting some word about that. Here is Oakland and San Diego in the fourth quarter tied at 24.
Holding. Offense, number 70. First down.
Call goes against Jeff Seavey, the 6-year man. Kansas City is leading Houston. Steve Fuller has just scored from 38 yards out, 21-20 with 2:50 left in the fourth quarter. Detroit over New Orleans in the fourth quarter. Zorn rolling right, 1st and 17. Zorn in trouble, gets away at the 35 and stepped out of bounds down at the 31-yard line.
I don't know how he got away.
No, he's an elusive quarterback. He really is.
Zorn definitely had someone in mind downfield. He had a receiver open short, but he refused to go to the short receiver. He wants to get the ball downfield and in the end zone because it's so far behind. I don't know how he gets away. Actually, you might have a little clipping there on number 70.
Yeah, that's Jerry Wilkinson. Elvis Franks over there also. Ball is on the 32-yard line. Bill Cowher, the Browns, has a bruise underneath the knee. Zorn has completed 13 passes in a row, and that sets a new team record. Now a whistle and a timeout for Seattle with 11:17 left to play in the game. Well, Zorn 13 in a row, a new Seattle record. The Browns 27, the Seahawks 3. We'll be back with more from the Kingdome in just a moment. With Gene Washington, Jay Randolph, we've just been updated again on this record situation regarding Zorn. He's thrown 13 in a row. It is not a club record. He threw 14 in a row against the Jets a year ago. Our statisticians are working faster than he's throwing, apparently. But we will keep watching. If he throws one more complete here, that will tie it up.
Cleveland may blitz this time. They faked it and come out before. No, they're coming out early. They're coming out again.
And Zorn looking and throwing, and there's 14 in a row, tying the club record. Dornick made the catch. Clay Matthews, 57, on the tackle. And coming up injured is Steve Rabel on the far side. Rabel is down at the 20-yard line.
They're going to have to take an injury timeout. He can't get off the field.
He tried to walk off under his own power and went down. Oh, a timeout is called with 11:09 remaining to be played. If you're just joining us, it was 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. Mike, Tuesday night in the home park of the National League championship winner. There's Jack Patera. His 5th season here, a record of 28-37 coming into today's game. Jeff Moore and Dornick are in the backfield.
I think they're going to blitz. I think they're coming this time.
3rd and 5, and they are coming, and he beats the blitz brilliantly. The throw to Green. Green is at the 5-yard line. 1st and goal to go. Elvis Franks, 94. Oliver Davis, 21 on the tackle, and Gene, you saw that one coming. A 19-yard pickup.
Cleveland had faked that blitz 3 or 4 times. I knew that at some point they wanted to come to make the fake a legitimate tool to use later on. 1st and goal for Seattle. Zorn looking, throwing, and penalty marker goes down. Steve Largent covered by Bolton over there, and let's see what the call is. They may have called it against Clarence Scott. They threw it in the area where Scott was defended against McCullough.
Scott and Bolton were both over there. It was Largent who was the intended receiver.
But I think Scott interfered with McCullum on the inside.
Let's listen to referee Chuck Eberle.
Illegal contact. Number 28 on the defense in the end zone. 1st down.
It goes against Ron Bolton, number 28. It is a 1st down. The ball just shy of the 2-yard line.
That's a tough call against a defensive back down in this territory. He can't let the receiver just run into him and bounce off. He has to play the guy if the guy runs into him.
Zorn 15 in a row. The NFL record is 17, set by Burt Jones. Oh, up the middle. Joe Daddy took one step, and he got ripped asunder by R.L. Jackson, big number 56.
Jackson's the guy we talked about at the top of the show. We said Lyle Alizado and R.L. Jackson would play a big part in this ball game. Take a look here. Well, we miss it, but you see him coming back, and R.L. Jackson is the guy that sticks his head in there and knocks the runner back.
Clock running with 9 minutes and 50 seconds remaining to be played. Second down, goal to go, Seahawks. Zorn breaks away, goes down to the 3-yard line. Good scrambling again by Zorn. Clinton Burrell, 49, and Marshall Harris, number 90, on the tackle. And again, things a little heated on the field here at the Kingdome. The officials stopped the clock with 9:37. Gene, you have to go back to that play in the third quarter when the Browns stopped the Seahawks when they had 3 shots at a first down and didn't get it. That was a big time in this game.
Biggest play of the game for Seattle. I don't know how Zorn is able to get away here. He did it earlier. He eludes all of these guys. Still manages to get the ball back to the line of scrimmage. Just an outstanding individual effort on his part.
Third and goal to go at the 3. Zorn, down he goes. It was number 58. Clifford Odom, the rookie. The extra backer in there coming from the blind side. 4.7 speed he's got, and you see why he can go here.
He's got the type of speed that wide receivers have. Jim Zorn never sees him. He blitzes from the outside, the backside. Zorn wanted to throw a little quick out to Largent on the other side of the field. Never saw him at all. That's the type of play where a quarterback can get injured. Gets that blind shot right in the back.
Odom out of Texas Arlington, the number 3 draft choice. All right, it's 4th and goal to go. Ball back out at the 9. 4 wide receivers in there. The throw way over the head of the intended receiver, John Sawyer. And again, this Cleveland defense is up to the task, and Seattle does not score.
You have to give Cleveland credit. Look at those guys. They're really happy after being ahead in some ball games and losing. Now it looks like they're going to win a big ball game. They're all very excited.
27-3, the Browns. Kenny King went 89 yards for a score. Chuck Muncy fumbled in his own end zone. Todd Christensen recovering for Oakland. 38-24, 13:52 to play in the 4th period. Oakland leading San Diego. 1st and 10 to go. Browns. Sipe handing it off to Charles White. White at the 15, 17, out over the 20 to the 21. The rookie running well. Michael Jackson, number 55 on the tackle. A pickup of 11 and a first down. And now the clock continuing to turn. The Browns have really had a fine day. There's a final score. Kansas City winning 21-20 over Houston.
Houston having its problems, but Kansas City got off to a great start last week in Oakland. Their defense playing very good football.
2 in a row for the Chiefs, who had lost their first 4. Mike Pruitt out to about the 22-yard line. Michael Jackson, 55, made the tackle.
We're going to see some fairly conservative football from Cleveland from this point out. They're sitting on a 24-point lead. They're going to run the ball, let the clock run down. They're going to force Seattle to use up its timeouts.
Rabel, we got a report, has an injured ankle. We hope to have a further report. There's Sam Ritigliano, 48 years old. NBC's football consultant over the years.
One of the class guys in the league.
Yeah, bright, energetic gentleman. He really is. 30-second clock down to 4 when they gave that ball back to Mike Pruitt. And Pruitt wisely stays in bounds. Tuiasosopo on the tackle for Seattle. And the Browns leading 27-3. We're down to 6:45 to play. And Jack Patera's got to wonder what happened to his club. 2 big wins on the road. Come back in here favored today and just don't get the job done.
Well, we've seen that happen lots of times. Look at the Jets. Surprised at Atlanta 14-7. We've seen this happen before. We saw it in Oakland. Kansas City came out to Oakland. I think Oakland was a little flat. They got beat. Seattle appears to be a little flat today. Cleveland playing good football, and they're ahead by 24 points.
3rd down and 4. And a 1st down. Charles White doing an excellent job, holding on and banging out the yardage. Michael Jackson 55 and Joe Norman 42. They're on the tackle. The Browns next week take on the Packers, who played a tie through the overtime today with Tampa Bay. The Packers at Municipal Stadium next week. Now a timeout is called with 6 minutes remaining in this game. 6:01 to be exact. One of the Seahawks shaken up and being attended to. The Seattle Seahawks play the Jets in New York, and the Jets, as you saw moments ago, are defeating Atlanta today. That's Butler, who was injured, and they're attending to him.
Jay, I think we should mention the outstanding job that the Cleveland offensive linemen have done all day. Cody Risen, Joe DeLamielleure, Henry Shepard, Doug Deacon, Sullivan. These guys have done a very good job of blocking and giving Sipe good time to throw the ball today.
1st and 10 for the Cleveland Browns, who lead at 27-3. Ball at their own 31-yard line. 5:40 to play in the game. Mike Pruitt at the 35, the 36 to the 37-yard line. Michael Jackson and John Harris, 55 and 44, on the tackle.
Charles White does something that most running backs his size don't do, and that's he blocks. He put a block on Webster that time, took Webster off the field about 5 yards, and was continuing to block him. A very unselfish athlete.
The Browns facing 2nd down and 3. Their own 38-yard line. 4:55 remaining. Mike Pruitt over the 40, close to a 1st down. Robert Hardy, number 75, on the tackle. Gene, the Browns defense did not allow a touchdown last week to the Broncos. The Broncos winning at 19-16, and today only the field goal.
They've done an outstanding job. The Browns are very good against the run when teams, or when they can keep teams contained. Where they have their problems is when their defense gets spread out. If clubs can get outside of containment, the quarterback can scramble, then they're not as good a ball club as they are when teams are running inside, off tackle, traps, and that sort of thing. You have to give them credit today. They played an outstanding football game, maybe the best game of the year for Cleveland.
New Orleans and Detroit. Billy Sims has just scored, and it's 24-13. Detroit over New Orleans. 2:55 remaining in the 4th quarter in that game. Here in the Kingdome, we had a sellout crowd. Not too many folks remaining now. 27-3 the Browns. 3rd and 1. There goes Pruitt. 1st down out at the 43-yard line. And the Browns are controlling things, having it all their way. You see that there has been quite a retreat from the Kingdome.
Sipe has come off the field. One of the defensive linemen from Seattle shot through the gap, and when the play had gone by, he came under and hit Sipe, I think, on the knee. Sipe's down on the bench now. They're attending to him. Paul McDonald, I believe, is in the ball game.
You're right. Paul McDonald, number 16. Handoff going to Pruitt, and he is hit behind the line of scrimmage at the 42-yard line by Terry Beeson, 58. Beeson, who always plays full tilt, loss of about 3. There's Sipe. They're working on him over there. The rookie McDonald from USC, a left-hander. The word I get is that he reads defenses very well. It's his first regular season action. There's some of the crowd that is hanging in here in a 27-3 game with the Browns leading.
This would be a costly victory, though, if they lost sight.
That's Charles White over the 50 and down into Seattle territory at the 48-yard line. Jackson again, 55 on the tackle.
Gee, they have to be very, very concerned about Site's knee. He doesn't seem to be in a great deal of pain, but they're checking the knee for movement. He took that shot straight on, and that's the thing where you get that ligament damage. You get a shot straight onto the knee, and that's what happened. He had his foot planted in the AstroTurf, and he took that blow.
McDonald was a 4th-round draft choice. Now a timeout. 2:03 remaining on the clock. And McDonald coming to the near sideline. This is the 2-minute warning. The 2-minute warning is being given to both the benches. So it's a timeout here in the Kingdome. And the Cleveland Browns are leading the Seattle Seahawks 27-3. And sight. Now the word we get, and we're very cautious, but the word we get from the bench is that it does not appear serious. They're putting the ice bag on the knee, but this is the kind of thing where you sometimes aren't sure for a day or two, Gene.
Well, that's true. If it's serious, then they'll do an orthioscope or something like that. But he came off under his own power, so I doubt that it's a very serious injury.
3rd and 2 at the 47-yard line. Penalty markers go up, and they stop the play.
Encroachment, defense, number 75. First down.
Call going against Hardy. There's a final. The Jets have beaten Atlanta 14-7. It was Kevin Long's touchdown with 1:38 left in the 4th period that won it. First and 10 at the 42-yard line. The give goes to Charles White. Terry Beeson, 58, made the tackle. Now we're getting Dino Hall into the backfield. Hall, a free agent. White coming out. Ball to be at the 43-yard line. Clock running with 1.5 minutes to play. And there is Sight going off. And right in front of Sight there you see Ozzie Newsome. So they're both going to the dressing room. That's Cleo Miller in the backfield working with Dino Hall. Pickup of about 5. Clock going with 1:10 remaining to be played. Good look at Paul McDonald. Played for John Robinson down in Los Angeles.
Cleo Miller is a good back with good feet, good blocker. His problem is he's on a team that has lots of good backs. Doesn't get to see much action.
That's right. Pretty handy guy to have around, though. Very dependable. 45 seconds remaining. Handoff going to Dino Hall, and Hall cracks for a first down at the 31-yard line. John Harris, 44, the free safety on the tackle. The Browns controlling it here this afternoon. An excellent game plan, excellent execution. The big problem, hopefully, is that the injuries to Newsome and to Rucker and to Sight are not serious, and we certainly hope they're not.
Well, Newsome had a big smile on his face as he was going off the field, so I don't think his injury is too serious.
We're down to 5 seconds. It's all over. And a splendid victory for the Browns. The Browns move to 3-3 on the year. A happy Sam Rutigliano. And the Seahawks now move to 3-3. They were over the 500 mark, the Seahawks, for the first time this early at any juncture in the years that they have been in the league. Coach Rutigliano, his Browns came in here and won it 27-3. We'll be back